says the David Pakman show isn't really doing well, where by the way, it's atrocious spelling and grammar. Let's keep to the core of the message. You're reporting yesterday's news, which is unfortunate because you're the most substantial creator on the left. You don't focus on the drama as much like Adam and Luke. Can you consider doing a live stream once a day?
It's funny how David Pakman would question somebody's intelligence as saying he's one of the most popular creators, or the most popular. He actually said the most popular creator. And David Pakman, English isn't even your first language. So how are you questioning how somebody English is when you don't even English? And that's American English. It's a little bit different than the proper English you learned when you before you came over here from European.
Today, even 20 minutes of that day's news doesn't have to be as clean and edited, just an and idea to try, keep up the work. Okay, a criticism that we are publishing news and it's too late. Okay. Chris on Instagram says you give only conjecture and lopsided in nature reporting. It's sad. I hope you learn a more mature version of fact reporting and honest, unedited journalism. Okay, so
Well, in fact, David Pakman is unhonest, and he edits all his journalism. Like, David Pakman doesn't do nothing. David Pakman never tells the truth. David Pakman is like a whole robot at this point. He's like beep boop bebop, and he gets no views because he sucks. And you guys can be like, oh, you get less views than David Pakman. I've been around for what, like 2 weeks now?
So another criticism here. So let me big picture it, okay? The audience is as big today as it has ever been. And so the position that we find ourselves in all the time is that the bigger the audience gets, the more opinions there will be as to what the show should be. We get emails from people all the time right now saying, David, you're not being alarmist enough about the authoritarian slide of this administration. You need to be louder and scream and be...
David Pakman was just flipping out the other day talking about that Trump was censoring him or whatever by not censoring other people. Like, his logic made no sense. David Pakman is like an insane man, guys.
More passionate and blah, blah, blah. Okay. The other side, David, you're being too alarmist. You're being too hyperbolic about the threat of authoritarianism. This stuff is really not that bad. You need to tone it down, actually. We get people who write and say, David, could you do the show later in the day so by the time you publish it, the news is less stale and it can be more breaking news? And of course, we are not a breaking news show. And even if we...
I'm so confused by later in the day, by this, by that. Like, David Pakman is like a nonsensical commentator. Similar to me, I guess, you know.
Record the show later, we're always going to miss something because there's 24 hours between shows. So I've explained it. It doesn't really matter when we produce the show because it will always be the case that something will seem stale by the time all the clips publish. Okay, here's the most important thing. The show has to be the stories I feel like talking about in the way I feel like talking about them. Now you might say, well, but David, we think you should be talking exclusively.
But David, all you do is talk about Trump and the people that comment on your stuff. Like, I never really seen David Pakman talk about anything other than Trump for like the past maybe year. Like, this is crazy. I feel like I don't know, guys.
About the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, or why not make it a foreign policy show, or interview activists every day, or what? If the show is anything other than just what I feel like making it, number one, it's going to be disingenuous. It's not going to feel genuine. And number two, we just have a different problem than corporate media with 7 layers of editors and producers, which is all of a sudden I'm taking direct...
This is the first dude in history to take troll comments so serious because they put so much detail in there. Like, he said they had bad spelling and everything. Like, you gotta question this man. You gotta question this man about everything. Like, do you really have a baby with Elon Musk?
Direction from other people as to what the show should be. Now, of course, when I hear from my audience, this particular story is incredibly important. And if I have something unique to say about it, I consider that, and
you have nothing unique
that maybe are that getting enough coverage. But there are Ukraine.
Where's the next comment?
Systems.
Yeah, this is getting corny. How long are you going to talk about yourself, bro?
We think that. So I think that.
Well, it's looking like we're finding out that David Pakman's ego may be bigger than Kanye West. So if David Pakman has a big ego, and he's definitely like a level 50 MAGA extremist now, I upgrade his diagnosis. He's like level 50 MAGA extremist because like all he does is talk about Trump, make videos about Trump. He's been explaining for like the last 45 minutes on why he can only make videos about Trump. I don't care about what you have to say, David Pakman. You are missing out on everything. You need to go touch grass, maybe smell some roses, plant some flowers, get your hands dirty. It's summertime, bro. Go hiking, maybe go camping. You say you take off every weekend. What do you do when you take off every weekend? Go outside. Maybe you should go hang out with your old friends at the pool. I already got a skate park. Have fun. See you guys around next time. I got other stuff to do. More people to make fun of because politics became a joke. And if you guys are in on the joke or whatever, want to be in on the joke, you gotta pay attention to what's going on around here. I gotta get out. Peace.